Hello, I'm your Congressman Dave Loebsack, and I'm honored you have chosen me to serve as your voice in Washington. For me, running for office is personal. I was born and raised in Sioux City by my mom, who, because of her struggle with mental illness, wasn't able to hold down a steady job. And when I was in the 4th grade, she could no longer take care of my siblings and me by herself, so we moved in with my grandma. It was shortly after that when I decided that when I grew up, I was going to make something of myself. It took a lot of hard work, pulling myself up, but I wouldn't have been able to do it without the supports I received from the community. And that is a big reason why I keep fighting. I want to ensure anyone who is willing to work hard has access to the same opportunities I had in order to make something of themselves. As I grew older, I took advantage of the opportunities that were given to me. For example, through a federal program for disadvantaged children, I got my first 40-hour-a-week job when I was 16 at the Sioux City Waste Treatment Control Plant. This job taught me many skills that I still use today. It taught me about responsibility. It taught me time management skills, and it taught me the benefits of working hard. After graduation, I attended Iowa State, where I would end up receiving my degree in political science. When college was out of session, I would return to Sioux City, where the principal of the high school I went to would let me work as a custodian at the school to earn extra money. I share my story because I want to demonstrate that with hard work and access to community supports, folks at any income level can be successful in life. As I was growing up, my grandmother relied on Social Security survivor benefits to help put food on the table for me and my siblings. And that's why I have made it my mission to protect, strengthen, and expand Medicare and Social Security. No Iowan should face retiring into poverty. We have to keep the promises that were made to the Iowans who have worked hard and paid into the system their entire lives. One of the most important factors in my success was attending public schools in Sioux City and at Iowa State. Access to a quality, affordable education is one of the greatest equalizers we have in America. As a former teacher, I take the education of our future generation of leaders very seriously and believe that a strong educational foundation for all our students is vital for our country's future competitiveness. Student loans and grants have helped many Iowa students, including myself, be able to afford a quality education, but the burden of loan debt can force college graduates to put their dreams on hold. This is why I believe we must increase our investments in student aid, transform the way our student loan programs operate, and strengthen opportunities through our community colleges. We must also do more to lower student loan interest rates and give hardworking students the tools they need to refinance their loans. And as a parent of 2 military children, I strongly believe that we must treat those who served with the same dedication that they gave to our nation. No veteran who needs physical or mental care should be turned away. I have worked hard to ensure that those who are seeking help for their invisible wounds, like those suffering from post-traumatic stress, are never denied care at a VA medical center when they are reaching out for help. It is a shame that each day over 20 veterans take their own lives. We can't let this continue. Even one veteran who takes his own life is one too many. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Once again, I'm your Congressman Dave Loebsack, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to serve the people of Iowa's 2nd District, and I humbly ask you for your vote so I can continue to stand up for all Iowans. Thanks and have a great day.
Mark Strauss, Libertarian candidate for U.S. Congress in the 2nd District of Iowa. I'm running for Congress because of issues that are facing Americans today and are going to affect us very seriously in the future. One of which is the two-party system that's pretty much run its course. I'd like to see multiple parties in the Congress and the Senate. If you can imagine having 4 or 5 parties to where no single party has a single majority, and it takes multiple parties to come together and vote for what's best for America rather than best for that party. I also want to make sure that we get term limits. I mean, what looks so horrible on anybody's resume of U.S. congressman and senator that they got to go spend their entire life there? Go in, do 2 terms, get out, go back to your regular life. Besides the fact that Congress needs to make sure that they write clear and precise laws, not open to interpretation to activist justices on our Supreme Court. We wouldn't be going through the mess we're going through today if Congress would do its job to begin with. I'd also like to work on things like taxes. You know what? We've got a 75,000-page tax code written by lawyers and accountants rather than having laws written by congressmen and senators. So you know what? I want one simple form of taxation. You buy something, you pay a tax. And I've got a very good plan for that. I'd also like to reduce the size of our military. We've got 800 bases around the world. I'd like to cut that down to about 200 bases, but make sure we've got the most powerful and technologically advanced military in the world to protect our shores and our borders. You know what? We've got a lot of issues facing us when it comes to energy, but actually there's a bright spot on the future. Thanks to Iowa, Iowa's leading the way in that. Mid-American Energy produced 83% of its energy from wind last year, and their goal is 100% by 2020. If we can do it, anybody can. And by the way, hey, Hillary Clinton, fracking is not a bridge technology. You can't fracture the bedrock beneath our feet and not expect problems in the future. So let's fix that. I also want to get rid of lobbyists. I can assure you, if you elect me to Congress, no lobbyist will ever make it into my office. They're not going to write the laws. I'm going to write the laws. We need to end Citizens United. That was an activist court that put that together, and we should be ashamed of that. The way that they throw money packs, these big packs together and throw money at what they think is the problem, no, that's the problem. I've been approached by Democrat and Republican parties over the years wanting me to participate with their parties and even run for office, and which I always told them that they're the problem. And so, you know, there's so many things going on in the world with overfishing of our oceans, shortages in fresh water that we're having problems around the world. I'd like you to go to my website, www.straussforhouse.com, where you'll see me talking about all of the issues of the day and exactly where I feel. I don't just complain about things. I have ways to resolve these problems. I have plans. So once again, my name's Mark Strauss. I'm running for Congress in the 2nd District of Iowa. And like you, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm an American. Thank you very much. I like that one.
Mm-hmm. Good. Perfect. Yeah, that was a little over 3 minutes. Almost 3 minutes.
Yeah, so that way.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Clark, I'm 27 years old and I'm from Mount Pleasant, Iowa. I'm running for U.S. House to bring the social and economic priority of this country's elected officials back to the working class people, not corporations. I was a Bernie Sanders national delegate to the Democratic National Convention, and his fight, one that he has been fighting for decades, inspired me to run for office myself. The working class people of this country are ready for someone to put their needs over corporations, personal gain, and partisan lines. I belong to no party. I don't take PAC money, and this is a grassroots, volunteer-driven, small donation-oriented campaign. Healthcare, affordable healthcare, shouldn't be a privilege, but a right. That's why our campaign is fighting for Medicare for All. Under a Medicare for All system, all residents of the United States would be covered for all medically necessary services, including doctor, hospital, preventive, long-term care, mental health, reproductive health, dental, vision, prescription drugs, and medical supply costs. 95% of all households would save money under a Medicare for All system. Copays, deductibles, and premiums would disappear. A study at George Mason University estimated that switching to a Medicare for All system would save the American people $2 trillion over a 10-year period. Living wages are essential to quality of life, and that's why they are important to our campaign. Living wages are a level of pay that allows an individual to afford adequate shelter, food, and other necessary basic needs. Employees who earn a living wage are more satisfied, which helps reduce turnover in the workplace. Currently, our minimum wages in this country have not kept up with inflation and are well below living wages. In a country where we can give trillions of dollars in tax cuts for the rich, we are more than capable of paying our working class living wages. Ending the prohibition of cannabis or marijuana is another important cause for our campaign. Legal cannabis would raise a substantial amount of revenue for federal and/or state governments. A study done by New Frontier Data released a report in 2017 that the immediate legalization of cannabis at the federal level would lead to over $130 billion in revenue between 2017 and 2025. Legalizing cannabis would also, according to that same study, lead to the cumulative creation of over 1 million jobs. Removing cannabis from the controlled substance list would reduce the number of court cases that go to trial and lead to fewer incarcerations. That doesn't even begin to shine a light on the expansive list of medicinal benefits of cannabis, from reducing pain in patients with MS, spinal cord issues, cancer, to arthritis. It's also been proven that CBD products have been very effective at reducing the frequency and severity of epileptic seizures. Thank you for taking the time to listen to what our campaign is about. If you would like to learn more, please visit our website at www.danielclarkforcongress.com, where you can also register to vote. Don't forget to vote on or by November 6th. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Christopher Peters, and I'm running for U.S. Congress from Iowa's 2nd District, which consists of 24 counties in southeast Iowa. Just a little bit about me. I'm an Army Medical Corps veteran, a surgeon, and a small business owner. More importantly, I'm a father, a husband, and as of a month ago, a grandfather. I'm running for Congress because I'm concerned about the direction our country is headed, and I want to make sure we leave behind a country worth inheriting for those who will follow us. Some issues that I'd like to discuss in this brief video are healthcare. Healthcare costs are the #1 issue we hear from our voters at the door and on phone calls. This is an issue that Congress will address again in the future. I'd like there to be another physician at the table when that is discussed, someone who knows the industry inside and out, who can advocate on behalf of you, not the medical industry as a whole. Second issue, just briefly, is government corruption or just dysfunction. Congress hasn't worked and hasn't worked very well for decades. This is a result largely of just partisanship. We have more bickering and basically a do-nothing Congress, and I think we need to restore that to proper functioning. I've been endorsed by a number of different entities in the past several months, usually most of them from the usual expected sources, but one of the ones I'm most proud of is a group called With Honor. It seeks to endorse candidates of both parties who are veterans and who have committed to putting country ahead of party. That's a promise, a commitment that I plan to keep when I'm elected to Congress. For those of you who might be a little hesitant to consider voting for a Republican candidate for Congress, I get it, I really do. But I can assure you that I have not voted a straight party ticket in memory. I vote for people I like, people I think I can trust, and sometimes I just vote for change. I think we're at a point where we need a change of direction. My opponent is a decent man, but after 12 years in Congress, he's about as establishment as they come. I don't see that he has any particular views that I admire, or he's a source of leadership or vision even within his own party, and I think we need to make a change. We need to restore our country and Congress to functioning properly again, so we leave behind a country that is worth leaving behind. I'd appreciate your consideration. You can check out my website, drpetersforiowa.com. That's drpeters, P-E-T-E-R-S, 4 and I'm sure you know how to spell Iowa.com. You look up issues, contact me there. I'd be happy to take your questions, answer any issues you would like me to address. Thank you very much for your time. See you on November 6th.